Okay.
All right, next topic.
Yeah.
Or no.
All right. No. We're moving on. Well, I was going to say, you saying that it was good that Elizabeth Warren didn't have a town hall meeting at Fox News. Why do you say that? That she didn't do the Fox Hall town hall?
Bro, because Fox News is on shenanigans, bro. That's the faux news. That's the fake news.
But doesn't she have a duty to speak to those constituents who might not necessarily agree with her point of view?
No.
What?
Let me tell you why. When you speak to somebody who doesn't necessarily have your point of view, what is important is to make sure that you are speaking in a format from which they can actually ingest you. Not just hear you, not just listen to what you have to say, but actually ingest and digest what's being said. Mm-hmm. Fox News has, at least within the last 5 years that I've been paying attention to Fox News, because I'm not an old white man. In the last 5 years that I've been paying attention to Fox News, mm-hmm. they do not program fairly. What is the point of going on there for them to mix your words up, for them to cut and paste your interview, for them to ask you inflammatory questions that have a dead end answer, as they did with the Breakfast Club interview. They had Charlamagne the God and Envy and Yee on there, and then they did a bunch of stupid stuff. And anybody who is like myself, I'm used to being in a situation in which I'm not necessarily always in the most flattering of company. But I think the people who rely on Fox News, let me be candid about that. The individuals who rely on Fox News are over 40.
Yeah.
They do not often interact with people like me. And when they do, they say things like, "You're one of the good ones." Like they go apple picking
you
for black people.
You speak so well.
Like they go apple picking for black people, and they're like, "Not a stain on her. No dents or blemishes. Throw her in a box. Just a good bushel of niggers."
Okay.
You know? Or as Eddie said earlier, those women's.
Them women's. There's some good women's over there. It's good women's.
You know, so I just think that you have to be careful not to cast your pearls among swine. Yeah. And it doesn't matter how much sense you make if you're in the presence of individuals who don't want to make good sense.
But what about reaching out to people who don't necessarily agree with you? Barack Obama had said that he got mad at Hillary Clinton because he said some of those people were some of those places where she didn't campaign because they were like, well, there's no Democrats in that area, you're not going to get any. But he said there was plenty of times where he campaigned in a place where there was no Democrats. But he said, this is a place where you might not have got any, support. But I went there and I campaigned and I went hard. Maybe 2 or 3 people came along with me. Those are 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 votes you wouldn't have got if you hadn't went to that place.
And what I would say
so what about reaching out to those people?
Okay, and campaigning in person, live time, where they can show up and hear your verbalization is a lot different than sitting down on a panel with a media who's able to stop and start the recording of your interview.
Okay, some of that. Is that how Elizabeth Warren felt? Maybe. I don't agree with that. I think she should have did
go to Alabama and kiss some of those babies that they made be born.
What about Kamala Harris? Would you vote for her?
No, ma'am.
Why not? Ma'am? What? Why? So you talking to her? No, ma'am?
Yeah, no.
Why would you not vote for Kamala?
Why did she tell us that lie about the Tupac music? That doesn't bother anybody but me. That's weird, man. That felt like white pandering.
That was weird.
That was weird. That would be like me pandering to somebody in our parents' age group and being like, man, when I was at college at Wilberforce University and I was kicking back listening to the soulful sounds of Paul Robeson, and I was like, no, you weren't.
Okay.
No, you weren't.
She was a little off with her dates. A little off with the dates. They didn't correspond correctly, I guess. I
don't think she was off, man. I think she was trying to touch us. And I think the problem is, like, what we liked about Obama is that he touched us in a non-creepy fashion. In other words, Obama wasn't making things up to get along with us on.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We genuinely loved his wife.
Yeah.
Because who doesn't like a black woman who's self-assured and chocolate and pretty and all about the kids? You get what I'm saying? Like, who doesn't love that?
Yeah,
who doesn't love that? And who doesn't love black guy who understands himself as a black man, but also understands that his mom is white, you know.
Yeah.
Has an estranged relationship with his father. I think men across every race can understand that.
There was.
And then also somebody who confronts those issues head on.
Yeah.
Like the father